Yo, the streets and the internet are on fire right now because Katt Williams just dropped bombs like nobody's business. From 50 Cent to Shaq, Oprah, Martin, and so many more, no celebrity is safe. Every line, every joke, every subtle jab is getting dissected, replayed, and shared like evidence in a court of hip-hop and Hollywood culture. People are reacting hard, some laughing, some shocked, and some just straight up questioning if anyone can survive this roast. This isn't just a comedy special. It's a cultural event. Katt is speaking his truth, exposing the streets, the celebs, and the industry like a modern-day truth bomber. Every punchline hits hard, every story drops knowledge, and every reaction is already trending across social media. Fans are debating who got roasted the hardest, what the deeper messages were, and why Katt Williams continues to be the king of uncensored commentary. If you thought Netflix specials were just laughs, think again. Katt's words are shocking, revealing, and viral-ready, creating moments that people will talk about for weeks. The reaction videos are popping up, the memes are everywhere, and the streets are buzzing like a live wire. So buckle up, because this is more than comedy. It's a full-blown reaction storm, and you don't want to miss a single second. Watch, react, comment, and share, because Katt Williams just shook the internet, and everyone's talking about it. The moment Katt Williams hit the stage, you could feel the tension in the room. Cameras flashed, fans murmured, and social media feeds were already buzzing. The streets weren't ready for what was about to go down. Katt didn't waste time, he went straight at it, diving into stories and truths that nobody dared to touch. You could feel the energy in his delivery, sharp, raw, and unapologetic. Starting with 50 Cent, Katt didn't just tease, he exposed the nuances of old beefs, industry politics, and the unspoken rules of loyalty in hip-hop. Every joke landed with precision, leaving the audience laughing one moment and gasping the next. The kind of commentary he delivered wasn't just about fun, it was a mirror reflecting Hollywood and hip-hop culture, showing the truths most wouldn't dare say aloud. Shaq wasn't spared either. Katt dissected pop culture perceptions, fame, and the contradictions that come with being a public figure. The way he blended humor with critique made the commentary bite, leaving viewers questioning the real motives behind celebrity actions. Even Oprah's name came up not to diss, but to highlight the dynamics of media influence and societal expectations. Each reference was layered, connecting the past with the present in ways that felt shocking yet undeniably true. He didn't stop there. Martin, other legends, and even the current influencers in hip-hop and Hollywood were brought into the conversation. Katt's observations cut deep, touching on fame, power, and respect in ways that felt raw and intimate. This wasn't just comedy. This was a streetwise analysis delivered through punchlines, timing, and the unique lens that only Katt could bring. Every story Katt told, every line he dropped, created waves online. Fans reacted instantly, clips went viral, Twitter threads exploded, and Instagram stories were filled with debate. People weren't just watching a special, they were witnessing a cultural event, a truth session disguised as comedy. It was clear that Katt Williams had no filters, and nobody in the room, on stage, or online could ignore what he was saying. What made part one so captivating was the balance between humor and hard-hitting truths. Katt has this rare ability to make people laugh while confronting uncomfortable realities. He showcased the struggles of maintaining integrity in entertainment, how money and fame influence relationships, and the double standards of celebrity culture. Each joke carried weight, each anecdote revealed insight, and the energy of the live audience amplified the impact tenfold. The way Katt transitioned between topics was masterful. One moment he was discussing 50 Cent's past business moves, the next he was exposing the contradictions in social media culture, and then he effortlessly pivoted to commenting on hip-hop street politics. The pacing was fast, the content dense, and the delivery relentless. You could see the audience riding every wave of emotion, from laughter to shock, from agreement to disbelief. It was a masterclass in live performance and cultural critique simultaneously. One of the standout moments came when Katt turned to the audience, breaking the fourth wall, and directly challenged the perception of celebrity morality. His words weren't just aimed at the figures on stage or in his stories, they were aimed at the viewers, asking them to reflect on what they value, who they idolize, and why certain truths are ignored. It was thought-provoking while still delivering relentless comedy energy. Throughout this segment, the production amplified the impact. Close-ups of audience reactions, cuts to social media clips, and graphics highlighting key moments all worked to keep viewers locked in. Every punchline, every story, and every revelation was framed in a way that made it easy to digest yet impossible to ignore. The result was a part one that felt like more than a special. It felt like an event that demanded attention, a cultural critique dressed as entertainment, and a masterclass in reaction-driven storytelling. By the end of this first segment, viewers were left stunned, laughing, and debating all at once. Katt Williams had set the tone, pushed the boundaries, and established that this Netflix special wasn't just a series of jokes, it was a statement. The streets were talking, the feeds were buzzing, and everyone knew that what they had just witnessed was rare, bold, and unforgettable. On the edge of their seats, awaiting what Katt would reveal next. Every word, every pause, every facial expression contributed to the high-stakes atmosphere that carried through the entire show. And as the camera cut to the next segment, it was clear this was only the beginning of a roller coaster that would leave the streets, the internet, and celebrities alike in shock. As the next segment began, the energy in the room shifted, almost like the air itself was charged with anticipation. Katt Williams didn't waste a second. He jumped right back into the heart of the storm. This was the truth session no one asked for, but everyone needed. The audience leaned in, knowing each word could spark another viral reaction. Katt's commentary moved deeper into the streets versus celebrity world, exposing the double standards in fame. He dissected how figures like 50 Cent navigate loyalty, money, and public perception. Every story he told wasn't just anecdotal, it was a lesson in street politics, business maneuvering, and cultural influence. The energy from the crowd was palpable, their laughter and gasps blending with the intensity of the truths he dropped. Shaq came under the spotlight again, and this time Katt explored the tension between athletic celebrity status and cultural expectations. He highlighted moments where Shaq's actions were scrutinized, where fans and media projected ideals that weren't realistic, and how that mirrored the challenges in hip-hop culture. It wasn't just critique, it was a mirror reflecting the hypocrisy of fame. The audience laughed, nodded, and whispered to each other, trying to process the depth hidden behind the jokes. Then came Oprah. Katt didn't attack, he analyzed influence, breaking down how media power shapes narratives and public perception. He drew parallels between entertainment, celebrity accountability, and societal expectations. Each line was layered, humor masked the sharpness of insight, and the audience couldn't help but absorb the dual impact of laughter and awareness. Clips immediately went viral, people pausing to debate his points online. As Katt moved through his set, the discussion expanded beyond individual celebrities. He spoke on systemic issues in the entertainment industry, the blurred lines between personal and public personas, and the pressures of maintaining authenticity while navigating fame. The crowd was hooked. The balance of humor and critique made each segment feel like a cultural seminar disguised as stand-up. The middle of the segment brought the most shocking moments. Katt began recounting behind-the-scenes stories involving collaborations, betrayals, and industry drama. Names like Martin, Jay-Z, and lesser-known yet influential figures were subtly referenced, showing the depth of his knowledge. It was clear Katt had lived, observed, and survived in spaces most comedians wouldn't dare enter. The audience reacted to every revelation, laughter turned into stunned silence and back again. The timing of his delivery was flawless. He punctuated key moments with pauses, letting the weight of his words sink in. Every joke carried the potential to spark a debate, and every anecdote offered insight into celebrity behavior, street ethics, and public perception. Social media erupted, clips were shared, screenshots posted, and hashtags started trending within minutes. Katt also addressed the reactions to Part 1, acknowledging the buzz around 50 Cent, Shaq, and Oprah references. He turned the audience's energy into fuel, amplifying the shock factor and pushing the conversation further. Each moment was carefully calibrated, he was masterfully controlling the narrative, and the audience was both entertained and educated without even realizing it. Throughout this segment, Katt's ability to weave comedy with critique stood out. He was not just performing, he was analyzing culture, dissecting fame, and laying bare the contradictions of celebrity life. Every observation on loyalty, money, influence, and perception hit hard. Viewers at home, watching clips online, were discussing every point, debating the implications, and sharing their reactions like wildfire. The part also showcased audience interactions, with Katt responding to reactions, laughter, and gasps. This created a real-time feedback loop, enhancing the sense that every statement mattered. The camera captured close-ups of nods, shocked expressions, and laughter, making viewers at home feel like they were part of the room. This immersive style kept the energy high, and by the time he transitioned to the next set of topics, the audience was on edge, ready for anything. As the segment drew to a close, Katt shifted focus slightly toward broader social commentary. He highlighted patterns in celebrity behavior, the challenges of authenticity, and the entertainment industry's expectations. Each point was backed with humor, insight, and a level of streetwise intelligence that left both the live and online audiences reflecting on deeper cultural truths. Katt Williams wasn't just performing comedy. He was shaping conversation, challenging perception, and creating viral moments. Social media was alive with debate. Clips were shared endlessly, and fans were left laughing, shocked, and thinking all at once. The streets, the feeds, and the culture had been impacted. This was more than stand-up. It was a movement in real time. As the spotlight returned, Katt Williams was already in full command. The room had quieted, anticipation thick in the air. People were leaning forward, ready to absorb every word, every punchline, every revelation. Social media feeds were ablaze with clips from the earlier segments, but Katt was clearly here to escalate the conversation, not repeat it. The stage wasn't just a stage anymore, it was a cultural battleground, and he was leading the charge. He launched immediately into celebrity truths, naming figures with precision and exposing hidden dynamics in Hollywood and hip-hop. This wasn't rumor, it was commentary laced with lived experience, observation, and an unfiltered perspective that few dared to voice. The audience reacted in real-time laughter. Gasps, murmurs of disbelief, all amplifying the impact of every story. 50 Cent was back in focus. Katt dissected past clashes, business decisions, and public perceptions with surgical precision. He wasn't just telling stories, he was analyzing power, influence, and the unspoken rules of fame and respect. Every anecdote was a lesson in strategy, loyalty, and consequence, and the audience couldn't help but hang on every word. Clips of his commentary would inevitably dominate feeds, causing debates and reactions across platforms. Shaq, Oprah, and other celebrities weren't spared either. Katt highlighted contradictions, hypocrisies, and the ways public expectation often clashes with private reality. He painted a vivid picture of fame's double-edged sword, balancing humor with insight. His jokes were clever, sharp, and sometimes shocking, but always carried a layer of truth that made people stop and think. The segment shifted to cultural commentary, blending street smarts with entertainment critique. Katt dissected the pressures of celebrity, the illusions of loyalty, and the industry games that rarely get exposure. From behind-the-scenes politics to viral moments, his delivery created a masterclass in social observation. Every punchline was a weapon, every story a revelation, and the audience, both live and online, was hooked. One of the most gripping moments came when Katt addressed the audience directly, challenging their perceptions of fame, respect, and influence. His words weren't just entertainment, they were a call to awareness, forcing viewers to reflect on the values and contradictions of celebrity culture. The energy in the room surged, laughter mixed with murmurs of agreement, disbelief, and admiration. He returned to hip-hop dynamics, dissecting loyalty, beef, and authenticity in ways that few comedians dared. References to industry veterans and current influencers were delivered with insight and timing that left the audience both entertained and enlightened. The stories revealed patterns in behavior, decisions, and public perception, highlighting how fame is navigated behind the scenes versus what's presented to the world. Throughout the segment, Katt's timing and pacing were flawless. He mixed rapid-fire jokes with long-form storytelling, keeping viewers engaged while layering commentary. Audience reactions were captured with precision, gasps, laughter, and applause punctuated the set, emphasizing key revelations. Social media exploded. Clips were shared and debated immediately, spreading the special's impact far beyond the theater. The segment also explored intersectionality between comedy and truth-telling, showing how Katt uses humor to expose serious realities. From social pressures to celebrity responsibility, from media influence to public expectation, each topic was addressed with wit, intelligence, and a fearless delivery. This made the performance more than stand-up. It was an event, a cultural critique, and a conversation starter. As the special neared its conclusion, Katt delivered some of the most shocking observations yet. He connected past events, current trends, and unseen dynamics into a coherent narrative that left the audience laughing, gasping, and reflecting simultaneously. Every story landed with impact, making viewers question everything they thought they knew about fame, loyalty, and influence. Finally, he closed the segment with a powerful statement on authenticity, respect, and the cost of fame. The audience erupted, applause, cheers, and laughter blended into a standing ovation. Online, fans dissected every moment, debating points, sharing clips, and tagging friends. The energy was undeniable. Katt Williams had not only entertained, but commanded the conversation across culture, hip-hop, and Hollywood. By the end, it was clear that this wasn't just a comedy special. It was a social event, a viral cultural phenomenon, and a masterclass in fearless truth-telling. Katt Williams had held nothing back, and the audience was left exhilarated, shocked, and thinking deeply. This final segment cemented the special's legacy, bold, fearless, and unforgettable. As the spotlight returned, the crowd erupted again. Katt Williams was back, and you could feel the intensity ratchet up another notch. Every eye in the room was locked on him, every ear hanging on his words. The energy was electric, almost combustible, as he leaned into the part of the night that would cement the special as legendary, viral, and unforgettable. Katt didn't hold back. He immediately dove into the celebrity hierarchy, blending humor with sharp critique. 50 Cent, Shaq, Oprah, Martin, they were all on the table. But this time, he went deeper, exposing motivations, contradictions, and the untold truths behind their public personas. The audience laughed, gasped, and sometimes groaned, but it was impossible to look away. One of the most shocking segments involved intertwined Hollywood and hip-hop drama, where Katt dissected the delicate balance between friendship, business, and fame. Names that the public assumed were untouchable suddenly became part of the narrative. Each revelation landed like a bombshell, leaving viewers questioning what they thought they knew. It wasn't just comedy, it was an unfiltered commentary on power, influence, and ego. Katt's timing remained flawless. Every punchline was a setup, every pause a moment to let the audience digest the implications. He shifted between humor and critique seamlessly, moving from personal anecdotes to cultural observations, making it clear why his voice carries weight in both comedy and music commentary circles. The discussion around Shaq was particularly unforgettable. Katt highlighted the tension between celebrity expectations and human reality, showing how public perception often distorts true character. The audience laughed, but there was also a collective understanding. They were witnessing insights that rarely make it to mainstream commentary. Clips of these moments immediately started trending online, sparking heated debates in forums, social media threads, and YouTube comments. He returned to 50 Cent again, digging even further into business moves, rivalries, and the politics of respect in entertainment. Every line was loaded with insight, humor, and the subtle punch of street knowledge. The crowd reacted with gasps, laughter, and applause, caught between enjoying the performance and processing the truths being laid bare. Katt's delivery made complex industry dynamics entertaining, relatable, and shocking all at once. Oprah was next, and Katt cleverly used her as a lens to discuss influence and responsibility in media. He dissected narratives, the creation of public personas, and the expectations placed on powerful figures. It was both hilarious and unnerving, leaving the audience oscillating between laughter and reflection. Every joke had multiple layers, blending pop culture critique with sharp societal observations. The energy continued to rise as Katt turned to Martin, Cameron, and other legendary figures, connecting past events to present dynamics. His storytelling bridged decades of entertainment culture, showing how patterns repeat, egos clash, and influence shapes perception. Audience reactions were electric. Some were laughing uncontrollably, others nodding in agreement, and many simply stunned by the revelations. The production amplified every moment. Camera cuts, audience reactions, and social media references made it feel immersive. Every laugh, gasp, and silence was captured, creating a real-time feedback loop that made viewers feel like they were part of the room. The combination of humor, critique, and authenticity kept the segment relentless, intense, and unforgettable. In the final stretch, Katt shifted gears to reflect on culture, fame, and accountability. He examined how celebrities navigate the blurred lines between personal integrity and public expectation. He challenged audiences to think critically about who they idolize, why, and how society shapes those narratives. Each observation carried weight, but delivered with Katt's trademark humor, keeping the balance sharp yet digestible. By now, the atmosphere was explosive. Social media feeds were flooded with clips, fans were debating every insight, and the streets were alive with chatter. Katt's performance transcended comedy. It had become a viral event, a cultural commentary, and a masterclass in public analysis. His ability to combine entertainment with real-world critique made the special unmissable. The final moments were nothing short of legendary. Katt Williams brought everything full circle, referencing previous jokes, callbacks to audience reactions, and tying together the night's narrative into a crescendo of insight, humor, and raw truth. Every laugh, every pause, and every revelation contributed to the overarching narrative that fame, power, and respect are complex, contradictory, and often misunderstood. As the lights dimmed and the camera captured the standing ovation, it was clear this was more than a Netflix special. It was a cultural event, a viral phenomenon, and a statement. Katt Williams had delivered humor, truth, critique, and drama all at once, leaving the audience, the internet, and the wider culture in shock, laughing, and thinking simultaneously. Don't miss Katt Williams exposing Hollywood hip-hop secrets. Subscribe now, hit the bell, and join the conversation before the internet explodes.